All right, welcome to the show. We are a minute early because I don't see this show make it all the way to 10 o'clock today. I got too much to do.
Yeah, so do I.
Not that y'all are wonderful people to hang out with, but yeah, I got things to do. People
We
to
should have
see.
went 2 minutes early.
Man, I am live on my channel now. My phone just told me that. I would not have known without YouTube's notification that I
Mine
am
hasn't
live.
said anything. I decided not to use the iPhone for the camera today, so see if I could get these notes. Oh wait, yeah, it did come up.
So
You
it's
can't see it, but
hey Phil, are you in here yet this morning? Mr. Texas Bandit, are you in here yet? Because I have a message for you.
Uh-oh.
It's not bad.
Oh, okay.
3 or 4 weeks ago, when I came up with this grand plan to unload this building into a storage building and move all these shelves and do all my picking and finally organize my life, because I don't know if anybody has seen she's probably not awake yet. Does she ever sleep? Farm Girl Scavenger, Mr. Fuck You Steve, Miss Fuck You Steve, had a video yesterday. It was only 4 minutes, but it's really to the heart of the matter for me is, you're not going to have a great fourth quarter. You're just going to continue muddling around if you're not organized and your mind is not organized, because it's hard to work in clutter. And so so Phil, much to your dismay, you said I wouldn't do it. I have possession of the 20 by 20 storage unit down the street. And so right after this show, I will be, Jacob will be too. He just doesn't know it yet. I have to go wake his ass up. Unloading this building completely and then reloading it, including the shelves are 9 foot. I'll have to go back down to 6. But, I've even been doing plans and making diagrams and planning how.
Wow.
Planning how I'm going to sort this and effectively use all 20 by 20, and where each platform's inventory is going to be. Damn, flipping any of these. John is up this early. Holy crap.
Dang, John.
You didn't go out with Harlan?
Are they all out in Vegas?
Yeah, there's a link if you want to say hey this morning, or anybody can say hey. But I know, Phil. That's why I was waiting for you to come in here personally so you could hear that I actually. So.
Hi, Paul.
So it was good and bad. So I called the guy who does the storage buildings here, and he forgot to tell the office manager that to put me on the wait list. So that's why I haven't heard from him. I was at the storage building yesterday getting an item that I sold, and I'm like, why have I not heard from these folks? And there's a unit back there with no lock on it. So I called, and she said, well, Brian's doesn't always relay messages. I'm like, well, damn it. But she said we only would have had a 10 by 15, but we got a 20 by 20 this weekend. So by waiting the 3 weeks, I got a larger unit. What's up, Josh? Mark, Philly Flipper, doing it wrong. Is that Jeremy? Is doing it wrong? Are you Jeremy? Am I remember that correct? A lot of usual suspects here in the chat. So the next time you see me, it would not be like this. Also, you will start seeing some shipping videos and stuff that people want to see how I ship. Because Tom seems fascinated by asking me how am I going to ship that, and I have to tell him over and over in a box. In a box. I told him that yesterday. In a box. So yeah. Yeah, Philly Flipper. Man, you're a big dude, man. You're hard to forget, Paul. You're a big. If y'all have not met Philly Flipper in person,
Kevin's here too.
He's a huge dude. Oh, Tennessee Pig. Hey, Kevin. Good morning, man. So eBay, after all the stuff I've seen, there's been some good podcasts. So Josh and John have got a podcast. If you guys have not listened to that yet, be prepared to listen with some thought. They get a little technical. I think John went over Josh's head on a lot. But they've got a good dynamic. It's what's the name? somebody put a link in the chat to that. eBay Power Hour is the name of the YouTube channel, and it's where you can find their podcast.
It sounds like an old thing I used to watch on TBN.
Yeah,
The Power Hour.
It sounds like they're like some kind of Southern Gospel Power Hour.
Yeah, right.
Let's flip Jesus on eBay.
By the way, TBN, for those of you who don't know, wasn't that Pat Robertson, his network? Trinity Broadcasting Network or something like that. We used to watch Benny Hinn and all that stuff. Not Benny Hill. That's a whole different guy.
So it occurred to me that eBay needs to continue to hear this from influencers. I don't consider myself an influencer. I just rant and rave on YouTube. They have some issues that they seem reluctant to, I get that you're going to fix your search. I get that search has gotten so large. I get that you needed to update and modernize. We need you to do all that, and thank you for doing that. Maybe be a little more forthcoming that problems might be happening. That would be nice. But at the end of the day, if you can build the greatest search engine that finds, if I'm sitting here at this desk and I think something and eBay opens up and finds what I want and puts it right there, and all I have to do is blink twice and it orders it, you can have that great and easy a search engine. But if you're not reaching the generations before me, who gives a fuck? Pardon my French so early in the morning, but you're doing, when you're losing audience because you don't have the reach, because you haven't marketed correctly, and you're still, the only thing I see is eBay Motors. The younger generation is not eBay Motors. Why does every time I put in a search, it asks me what model car is this going to fit? Yeah, if I'm looking for a mouse, it shouldn't ask me about the model car. It just shouldn't. Hey, Brenda, thank you so much for putting that link in there. It's and the way you're funding this is you're taking this off of the backs of your sellers. You're trying to bring all these, what you are squeezing your sellers to service what dwindling customers you have right now to make yourself look better on your books. I'll be thrilled to see what the third quarter look like. I got a feeling they're going to report sales or their profits are up, and then everybody's going to have some catastrophe about, how can their profits be up when so many of us have no sales? That's going to be fun. Those are going to be fun videos. I don't know. I'm looking forward to those, by the way. But it's, if they don't reach a younger audience, there's a reason why Poshmark is blowing up. There's a reason why all these alternative sites are blowing up, and shoe sites and everything else, because you have not done a good job of letting people know you exist. You have been so concerned about being Amazon that you forgot to be you. And that's a problem. You mean, look around the people even the people in your lives who change and do whatever. They're so concerned about pleasing others and doing these things. They are not true to themselves. And so it's a problem. And here's a good example. So I was doing some numbers. So I was adding these numbers up. So I was to read them off. Let me tell you the story. So how we got here. I was at a yard sale. I've been to 6 yard sales Saturday morning, hadn't bought anything. Yard sale number 7, though, was the winner. Yard sale number 7 had that. I'm like, that's cool. I'd never seen one before. I'm like, well, I recognize Yoshi. I wonder what's in the Yoshi case, because I've never seen the Yoshi case before. I
have that exact case somewhere. Nothing in it, though.
Turns out that was it. I said, how much for the... Okay, so when you ask, am I the only one that does this?
Keep that thing zipped up, and then ask about.
I don't ask how much is the Nintendo 3DS XL Yoshi Edition console game. I said, how much is this little video game thing here? Like I don't know what the hell it is. And he said, yeah, I've got to have $30 for that. So if you're looking for this, it's listed currently in my eBay store, Bearded Picker on eBay for $300. You get this. There's a couple styluses, and then it comes with this. because this is one of the games.
Go. You got that all for $30, huh?
So that case, I look when I pick it up, I look under it, and it's sitting on this. And I said, "How much are the games that go with it?" He said, "Some of those are Pokemon.
Oh, Pokemons, yeah.
I'm gonna have $3 each."
Yeah, I see several that are worth more than $3 in there.
Yeah, there's a Zelda. There's 3
Zelda.
There's 4 Pokemons. The Yoshi, which is going with the machine. There's a Kirby.
Like there's 2 Zeldas.
Yeah, there's 2 Zeldas. Kirby's the one I'm looking for because that's the one. And then of all the ones you didn't say, there's a Sun Mega Tensei. That's the most valuable game in the stack.
Yeah, I've not heard of that one, but
anything with Chinese writing on it, folks, look it up.
Yeah, I would have probably.
Because it looks like almost like anime characters on the back of it or something like that kind of stuff. So that's a $57 game.
So you got now for the system itself. What is that? I'm sure you've comped it out already. What's that go for?
$250. So I threw the Yoshi game to match the system, and it's got the styluses.
So when this guy at this yard sale gave you a good deal, you just took the deal and you didn't try to, get him down on the price at all?
I did not do him down at all. But
Me at all. I don't either.
These guys were in the pack. The star from Mario, and then a Yoshi. It had the thing with it, and it has screen protectors and some cards. So all that goes with that lot. So that's why I set it at $300. The console sells stuff for $249 without just to buy itself, and it's got a charger that goes with it. So when I bought it for $30, should I have said $20 because you don't have a charger?
Some people would, is what I'm saying. Me, when I recognize that it's a hell of a deal like that, I'm not going to, ask them to go lower. But some people would, which I think both are okay.
So remember all that, because then I have another question for you here in a minute. Let me before I forget the math. So here's the math on Kirby. I was doing trying to figure out how to put this in a video form. I'll come up with it at some point because I'm not that great with PowerPoint. And so I was trying to figure, where is it cheaper to sell Kirby, eBay or Amazon? Where do I make the most money? And with Amazon, how is it FBA or is it FBM? And so there's all the numbers. So on eBay,
you're doing some math.
Kirby sells for about $20 on eBay. $19.99 is the average selling price. So at their $13.25 plus 30 cents, your fees are $2.95. Your profit is $17.04 before you take out the $3. Because yes, everybody in the audience, if you don't understand, to get the true profit of an item, you have to calculate out your cost. I've had that question before. So I thought I'd clear it up. In order to get to your net profit, you must take out the cost. Okay. So $17.04. I'm going to ignore the $3 and all these things because it's the same for all of them. So if I sold this on Amazon, it would go $21.98. So the price is 9.96% higher for FBM. Does that make up the fees? Because Amazon is going to charge me 15% fees. So 15 to 13.25, not bad, right? But you've got to understand, this is where you've got to understand the platforms. You got to dig in. There's 4 or 5 categories that Amazon goes, we've got a closing fee or referral fee. They charge you $1.80 per transaction for video games. And so that on top of the higher percentage, so for $21.98, I make $16.80 on that video game if I sell it on Amazon FBM. So is the loss of 16 cents worth it selling much faster on Amazon? I would say it is, and therefore this one I would not cross list. I would not.
That particular game though would still sell pretty quickly on eBay. I've sold it before. So.
Here's where the difference is, and here's where the problem is, and here's where you got to really understand your numbers. So on eBay right now, there's which side of the fence do you fall on? Do you need to promote or not to promote? Video games, I'd fall in the category maybe not, but if you want to calculate video games at 2%, that's going to cost you another 40%. Now you're making less than you would sell it on Amazon for. If you did 3, so you're going to add 20 cents per. The average for this category at the trending rate category they recommend is 11.6%. That's $2.31 additional on average if you promote to sell this item. That brings your profit down from 1704 to 1473. Folks, these are real numbers you got to understand. So now if you're on eBay has less customers. They're not reaching the audience that Amazon reaches, and they're almost requiring you to promote in order to get placement in their search engine, good placement in their search engine. You're now making less money than you would on Amazon because eBay wanted to be Amazon, but yet they're going to charge you more. eBay is squeezing. That's what I talk about when I say eBay is squeezing their sellers. So if that's significant. On this game here, a $20 game, Amazon FBM I'll make $16.80. So you're going to lose $2.07 to sell it on eBay if you promote at their recommended rate. Okay, so Beer, what's $2? I'll just take the sale. I've got 12 games.
$2 times 12, yeah.
So that's $25 that you lose, and that's if every game is the same. You lose more money on the $50 game because the percentages go up, and your promoted listing, 11.6% of $55 is much greater, of course, than of $20. And so you're over doubling that. So you're $4 or $5 that you're going to lose. So this is the scary part. So FBA, you would sell it for $23.12. So it's another 8% higher than the FBA, the FBM. So that's what FBA prices are generally good for 8 to 10%. It used to be 25 to 30 when I first started. It's down to like 8 to 10. And this falls in that category. With their fees, you make $14.37. So for 40 cents, you can throw it in a box and send it to FBA and never see it again, or you can wait on that random eBay seller buyer to show up and make 40. If you promote it, you will only make 40 cents more than you would if you let Amazon handle everything. They're trying to be Amazon without being Amazon. They want Amazon money without Amazon service, without Amazon customers. And I challenge you to do some of this stuff. If you sell on eBay and Amazon like I do, look at what it costs you, and that's why I'm finding it really difficult as I try to move more of my stuff to eBay. And a lot of things. So I sold it's not here anymore. I sold a T-drop. Does everybody know what a Sunbeam T-drop looks like? Most people in the chat know. It looks like a coffee maker, but it's gray, and it's got a smaller carafe, and it's for making hot tea. You put tea bags in it and brews hot water. Because evidently we're not smart enough to put less water in a coffee maker and do the same thing. We're not that smart. So you need one for tea. It's sold. I paid $20 for it, brand new at a yard sale, never been opened. It sells for $57 on eBay. And you think, well, that's not bad, Beer, for just taking up pictures of a box. You're $57, $58. But if I have to do 8% on promoted just to get that sold, or do I put it on Amazon for $99 and let it sell in 71 hours? No pay-per-click, no nothing. I just listed it and it sold in 71 hours at $99. It's significant where you sell stuff. And so eBay's got to understand that they have to be careful with the fees and what they're charging and what they're squeezing, because not only I've concentrated so far on this lecture to you guys who already know this stuff. Hopefully somebody at eBay is listening. I've concentrated on telling you that you're not reaching your audience. You're also chasing away your sellers. I can't afford to take that kind of loss. Me selling the coffee, the tea machine on Amazon means I got this for free. It's $30. Okay, so Beard, I was not in when you said $2 per item. So what about the items you're picking up? You're losing $30 an item. Well, Beard, how bad could it be? I shipped 47 items Monday. Not all of them are $30, but if you're losing anywhere from 2 to 30 on 47 items on a weekend,
shit, even at $1 an item, that's $47.
What kind of money are you losing because eBay is squeezing you?
Some people will say that, Beard, I am gated in Nintendo, and I can't sell that on Amazon. Well, and I saw Mark said that it costs $1,000 to get ungated. It does not cost $1,000. You think outside the box. Find another supplier that sells Nintendo branded items. You can get ungated a lot cheaper. I think EE Entertainment still sells Nintendo branded items. Mark, you don't have to buy video games to get ungated in Nintendo. It can be anything branded Nintendo.
I could find a place.
I'm saying this is what it used to be like. I don't know what it's like today. I haven't done it in a while.
After the show, in 15 minutes of searching, I could find you somewhere to buy Nintendo and get you ungated Nintendo for less than $100. It's not that damn difficult. You
guys got to start thinking outside the box. That's how we got ungated in a bunch of
Here's your ungating lesson. I'm going to save your $1,000 with Alliance, save any of the money you want. For the most part, 90% of the websites that are reputable websites that are out there, so CDs, christianbooks.com or whatever that one is, go buy 10 CDs or 10 movies from there. You can get DVDs or music on CDs ungated. If it doesn't work the first time, resubmit it. They will take it as long as you fill it out correctly and all your stuff matches. And that's less than $100. You can get DVDs. That's not a secret. There are videos out there on it. Use the same logic. Who sells? Which reputable website sells cheaper? I just showed you these. Go buy 10 bags of this stuff. You don't have to buy video games. You don't have to buy anything. Yeah, it's Nintendo.
You know how I got Lego? I bought coloring books that were Lego branded.
I know a lot of people.
Not coloring books, little
keychains.
Books.
Somebody bought keychains for Lego and got to get into Lego.
Think outside the box, and it doesn't. People use department stores as long as you get an invoice from somebody. I'm not going to name department stores because I don't want you to go out and buying things and then get screwed. But look at the invoices you get from these places. If it says invoice on it, it has all the information Amazon wants, it's likely that it'll work. Who has a limit of 3 per item? So you don't have. The myth is you have to buy 10 of the same item when you're getting ungated. That is a myth. You can buy 10 Nintendo branded items if you're just trying to get Nintendo. Now, sometimes you have to buy 10 of the same item if it's brand level gating.
So here's the problem.
Item level gating, but brand level gating, you can buy 10 Nintendo items and get ungated or whatever.
So Josh is using coupons. Same thing. You sent me a coupon. I'm not buying anything, Josh, but thanks for the coupon.
I got one too.
So what's your fees for running all that in coupons? You still got to deal with shipping on that item because that. And so why does shipping matter? eBay versus Amazon. I have to go off your platform, eBay, to get the best shipping. I have to use Pirate Ship, which I love Pirate Ship. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind using Pirate Ship. I love Pirate Ship. Though, anytime that I have a question, they answer in a nice pirate method, and they're very friendly and very helpful. I like Pirate Ship. Don't get me wrong. They're a great site. I've been using them since, 16 or 17? It's been since they first came out, I've been using those guys. But eBay, cubic shipping, why do you not have it where we can use cubic shipping on eBay? Why do I have to go to an off-site platform to use cubic shipping, which you allow them to pull all my stuff over there because it's something good for the seller? How hard would it be in the fall update to have said, we have implemented cubic shipping. We are looking out for our sellers, and we want to save you money. And this is how you can save money with shipping with eBay and taking advantage of cubic shipping. How hard can't be that damn difficult.
But cubic shipping isn't on their radar. They don't even know it exists.
I've talked to these folks when I was in Vegas last year. If you go talk to an eBay person, an eBay employee, it's scary. I had to explain supply and demand and why a out of stock product, which is not being made anymore, hard to find, is worth more than it was a year ago. And it took 20 minutes of me just going like this. right beside her head. So she finally the light kind of flickered. I thought some more. It dimmed a little bit, and it finally. It never got bright. It was not like LED light or anything. It was still like the halogen car, where Amazon would be that one that they got the blue lights that's going to blind you at night. That's the old guy. Todd's laughing because he knows we can't see at night. And you're begging for the days of when Steve's Volkswagen came down the street, and you go, the lights are round, they're yellow, they're nice. And so the second thing with shipping, unless I use your antiquated, crappy bulk shipping, I can't get a scan sheet. Why is my time not important enough to you to that every other site in the world will do a scan sheet so I can hand it to the post office and they will take care of all the packages I just shipped? That is the number 2 reason why I'm at Pirate Ship and not eBay shipping. Because at the end, and when I click end of day and hit click shit, it gives me one sheet for the 12 that I took yesterday. I hand it to Jason, and Jason goes, dude, and he's got all 11 packages scanned in. It's less work on him. I'm not waiting in line at the post office. Worst comes to worst, I will drop him in the box and hand him the sheet, and he'll scan it when he gets to
it. I got to make a clarification about my Volkswagen. I do not have LED headlights yet, but I do have LED taillights, and the reason is because the original bulbs, those incandescent type bulbs, nobody can see them. So I put taillights in there that people can see, so I don't get rear-ended.
So what I heard, everybody, I'll translate for Steve. He's an ass man. He wanted the ass to light up. That's what I heard.
You're damn straight. Well, I actually put a third brake light on it just because you couldn't. I got a motorcycle one and attached it to the bumper. It looks really cool.
So that's crazy. So it's just simple things that eBay has missed out on. They've missed out on the marketing and reaching younger audiences and being where younger audiences are. Because the only one I ever see is eBay Motors. So I bet now if anyone of the younger generation has seen an eBay commercial, they just sell car parts. Aren't they like AutoZone? You can't do for the seller. You can't, make my shipping cheaper without me leaving. Scan sheets. My time is valuable. You punish me and track whether I get things scanned in a timely manner, but then, and you want people to sell more and more stuff. But so
I got to say about the eBay Motors stuff. First of all, you're right. The only commercials you ever see about eBay are eBay Motors. So that might be what younger people think. Second of all, car parts are my highest returned item that I sell. Highest return by a lot. So I don't deal with them anymore.
Why did my screen just shift down? It's like the TV just had a stroke or something.
If I was a car part seller primarily, then I would still deal with car parts.
I know some guys
because I'm an because I'm an everything seller. I don't want to deal with the returns on those because I'm not as knowledgeable, and maybe it was my mistake. I don't know on some of those things. But if you're into car parts, it's the highest return I've got.
Here's my next point and this is going to, if you've got some of these, you're going to have to be selling on eBay a while to understand these. Amazon, eBay. eBay is the one that, remember, it's my customer. eBay is the facilitator of the transaction. They are providing a place that sellers and buyers can meet and find items. That's their whole goal in life. So why do you do everything to benefit the customer, and very few do you benefit the buyer? So we all bitch and complain when you took away our ability to leave feedback. I can't leave negative feedback about a bad buyer anymore because you said, well, it creates a negative image of the platform and there was just so much retaliation and this and that.
There was.
Well, and there was some of that, but the problem is now we don't know where bad buyers are. We'll just put them on your block bidder list. That's the biggest load of crap when you can just log in as a guest and buy from whoever you want. I can be on everybody in the chat's block bidder list, and
it's like wearing a mask. It's false sense of security.
Yeah,
you get nothing from it. It really doesn't do anything.
I'm 2 shows clean from all that kind of talk. I'm not going to be drug into that today. I'm not going to.
I tried.
I have to. So those of you who remember Bad Boys, I have to go. Woosa, woosa, woosa.
But I'm just saying, it is the first piece of advice you get from, like going on these Facebook groups and things is, oh, block them. It doesn't work. It never has, and it never
doesn't work. And so the other thing is that how many of us, it's happened a lot to me since I really started focusing on eBay again. Cancels. How many requests to cancel an item? I ordered that by mistake. It's 3 or 4 cancels a week that I get. And it's the same excuse. I mean, and if they want to cancel, I'm not saying they shouldn't be able to cancel. If you don't want the item, I would much rather you cancel it before I ship it, because then there's more to deal with. Cancel it, please. But why does a buyer get to cancel 1 million items and nobody cares? And you also, now we don't see, an item they don't pay, and we just have to hit cancel for them, because now not only do they get to cancel willy-nilly before I ship it, but now afterwards they can do whatever they want to. And buyers are, but yet if a seller has an issue with an inventory item and they have to cancel for whatever reason, you hold that against the seller for a goddamn year. eBay, I mean, what? Pardon my language, but it is so infuriating. Amazon does this weekly. They reset your
7 days
every week, 7 days. But eBay allows everybody, if you're not selling, to do whatever you want to. But if a seller makes a mistake, if a seller needs to do something, we're gonna hold it from you a year. We are going to, and if you get too many of these, we're going to lower your metrics. We're going to reduce you in search, and we're going to charge you more for your fees. That's eBay's answer to being the middleman and being and supposedly looking out for buyers and sellers. If you think eBay has your best interests at heart, or even gives a rat's ass whether you take a breath in the next 10 seconds, they don't. And that's got to change. They are going. It's the same thing as if, okay, so let's look at what happened. Where did Kmart and Walmart, where did they diverge? They diverged in the 80s and 90s. Walmart grew at a crazy rapid pace, and Kmart did not. What was one of the bigger differences? Try to return something at a Kmart versus a Walmart. I know you folks now can't understand it if you're not of a certain age, but if you were in the 80s and 90s, if a Walmart, here I am in Huntsville, Alabama, if a Walmart in Juneau, Alaska sold this item at one point in their life, Walmart would take it back, just like Costco does today. Just like Costco does today. Is there any reason you think that might be a reason why Costco kicked Sam's butt? They are using some of the stuff they learned as they watched what Walmart did and using it against Walmart to make Costco much bigger than Sam's. It's one of the factors.
I just look back on my metrics, and cases closed without seller resolution. I still have them on there from last October, so that's a year ago.
Yes,
October 22nd.
So Beth, I have heard that. So I don't see the invoices. Josh or John, somebody in the chat, can you get Beth's comment? I'm trying to get better about reading comments instead of just ranting all the time. Does sending an invoice restart the 96-hour clock to pay? I've heard it does.
I've heard that, but I don't know for sure. Somebody with more expertise, maybe.
I have heard that, Beth. Yeah.
So here we go with
I don't have firsthand knowledge, but
it kind of makes sense though. If I don't ever send an invoice ever.
So unless, there's Kevin.
I mean, there would be a rare reason. See, I'm opposite of Kevin on that one. I've turned off immediate pay because, I don't care. But I'm not a full-time seller right now either. Maybe if I was a full-time seller, it would be a different story for me.
Anessa, they have 30 days to send it back. Yeah, any returns, that's the same on eBay and Amazon. They have 30 days to send it back. So as long as
I have changed my return period from 60 to 30 though. those 30 days don't make a difference really, and I'm just kind of protecting myself a little bit more.
Only the payment reminder in the app does not. Okay. Did you mean to put does that? Because does not. That makes no sense, John. And to answer your question from earlier, because I don't want to be in Vegas. There you go.
So
I just done Cincinnati. I chose Cincinnati over Vegas. I didn't want to be gone too lengths of time in the fourth quarter.
Roman wasn't going to Vegas, right? I mean,
Roman and Paul, I wouldn't have seen either one of them out there. So who cares? Right. Who cares about Kevin, Commonwealth Picker? I just saw him. I don't need to see him twice.
Okay, Kevin says a payment reminder does not reset the clock, but I'm not sure. An invoice is more than a payment reminder, though. So that's what I think. I don't know.
It shouldn't. If it does, we need to complain louder than what I'm complaining today, because that's ridiculous.
Because the customer could request an invoice a couple days down the road, and that's it.
And keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
I don't remember who, but yes, I heard that it does reset the 4-day or whatever it is.
So hopefully that's the answer. John says that the payment reminder in the app does not reset the timer. Invoices on the PC do reset it. So
I get the invoice thing because you can change things in the invoice, like if you're combining shipping or whatever. So that kind of makes sense. I don't send out invoices ever because eBay sends plenty of payment reminders and all that stuff. And I don't, and the invoice that they get from me is whatever the sale was. I don't do all that stuff.
You're going to die. There's a small.
I think I've sent 1 or 2 invoices in the last 30 years. So
go away, Fly. But it's, you see the problems. It's not only all the problems these other fine creators have talked about at length. It's these problems result from the fact that what I'm talking about now is how they don't value the seller. They think that we have to have them, which they have a point on that, and that it is great opportunity to sell on eBay. I get that, but that doesn't mean that you don't live up to what you're supposed to do, and you continue to abuse because that's the easy way to do it. Well, I wouldn't want to do that to a customer because they might not come back. We don't really. We don't care if we lose the seller and the customer comes back and there's nothing to buy. We don't care about that. That they have to go to Amazon to buy the same product.
There will always be something to buy. eBay isn't going anywhere anytime soon. But
no, I'm not saying it is.
Make it. I know you're not.
And people, there's other platforms. How many clothing sellers have gone to Poshmark? The sheer and they have taken an audience with them, and Poshmark has grown an audience that skews way younger than eBay. Poshmark is going to continue to grow as long as they continue to do things they have their issues, but they're expanding product lines. They're doing every platform has issues.
I think eBay will slowly lose market share over time.
But their issue is not that they're going to gain market share due to the fact that they're skewed young, and people. Yeah, Mr. Sadie, Larry, that NDA. Yeah, y'all know better.
We're done with talking about NDAs, right?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about NDAs other than the fact that they're a necessary part of business, and I have nothing against them, and I've not signed one, and I'd be hard pressed to because I can't control I'd have to close. You will know when I have signed an NDA with eBay is because the morning show will cease to exist because I won't be able. I'm like, I have been legally advised to not go on the morning show anymore. But it's the problems that just compound, as you're squeezing the seller, as you're not bringing in customers for the seller, there is a double standard for what you allow the seller and customer. It just gets very nauseating and very tiresome. And that's another reason why I probably didn't need to get a Vegas with eBay showing up at the Reseller Remix. Yeah, John, my question is, why are you not over there giving that eBay rep who showed up at the Reseller Remix? Maybe you're just up first thing this morning and you're ready to go. You're just getting some more information so you can just attack. You should be over there at the Center for the Blind, waiting in line to hit the eBay person this morning.
The problem is your comments will fall on deaf ears, because how much power does that eBay person that's at the Reseller Remix really have to change anything anyway? They might be able to give a few pieces of advice, but they really need to get a panel of sellers that aren't eBay cheerleaders in there, and just sit down and talk with them.
That's a good point, Thrift Daddy. Thrift Daddy says, Thrift Daddy's been around a long time. It's good to see you again. Either I've missed you in the chat or you have been missing from us. Either way, good to see you. I don't know any clothing sellers that only sell on Posh. That's true. Most of them do cross list. But okay, so here's the question for you, Thrift Daddy, and everybody in the chat can answer this. Where do they cross list to? Is eBay the number one place they cross list to, or is it where some of these other ones that sell, like TrueGetter and all these sites that I don't have any idea about, where they sell? I watch the ladies every now and then. I'll catch a show from the Resale Remix ladies, and where they're talking about the places they sold and all these sites they're on, and I'm like, I never heard of half of those.
TrueGetter, Depop. I can't remember any of the other ones.
I've heard of Depop.
Yeah.
I'm about to shut the show down or kill this fly, one or the other. Isn't a waiting on the Rockstar T today. What is the Rockstar T?
I don't. Rockstar is supposed to be putting out some expose video on, I don't know, whatnot sellers. I'm sure we already know who one of them is. A lady who, has been known to do that sort of thing in the past. And then I'm pretty sure.
I don't.
But it's not a big deal. Who cares?
I had somebody ask me the other day. They're like, it would really be nice to see who you watch on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, no resellers. I stay above the drama, and I watch Josh when I'm shipping. If I can catch John, his times are also, about once a week I'll stumble into John's chat when I see him live. It's just flipping ain't easy as John, if you don't know that. Josh and John they're right there together. Two great channels to sub to if you're not sub to them. Whatnot's another one. Trent, I don't know why we didn't say Whatnot, but Whatnot is definitely blown up. There are a lot of clothing sellers on. So that's the same thought I had. John said didn't change his mind about going. Didn't want to lose time listing and spend time on the business. He'd rather buy the paper tape machine. Damn right. Paper tape machines are awesome.
It will change your life. It will.
So this is why you listen to Josh. I don't always agree with him, but this is a 100% point that I definitely agree. Although he did come over to my side of thinking, but I'm not going to mention that. You have to go look at the comments from my last video to see that. They're not cross listing off of eBay because they want to, for the most part. How many people go, I want to make my life more difficult. I want to list on 7 platforms. When I used to only do one and have everything in one centralized location, and I made a living from that. They go, no. Cut that in half. I'll give it to somebody else. I'll find my way around the internet and just stumble and try all these new places until I figure them out. Nobody says that. So Ed, that's not a bad thing. So Ed says some of these resale events are more than just more a meetup than anything else. And so talking to Phil, and we're going to do the Nashville thing again for the first time in several years next summer. And it will be billed as just a straight meetup. I'm of the opinion.
No classes, just get together.
So go look at the Reseller Remix. They've got a wonderful lineup of great speakers and guests, all really, really knowledgeable folks. But when you put them in a panel and they're trying to explain, and if you got an hour up there and you're introducing for 15 minutes to panel, and then you're going to take questions at the end, and you got 4 or 6 people trying to tell you something in 30 minutes, if you're going there to learn something, the learning and the knowledge is talking to other resellers, talking to people that do this, meeting up with, getting Roman, going drinking with Roman. You'll learn more about reselling than you ever listen to a panel, because there's so many people that do this that don't turn a camera on, but have such tremendous knowledge and are just dying to have a conversation with someone else who does this, because it is such a lonely thing in your life. If you're blessed like I am to have, a Harlan, a Tracy, there's like 6 guys of us here who meet once a week, and talk reselling, or I would only have the internet. And so, I encourage you to make friends with other sellers in your area. It's just an outlet for venting, just some knowledge, camaraderie. It is one of the best things you'll ever do. So the reselling meeting part of reselling events are where you learn the most. If you will, don't be like me and sit over in the corner and not talk to anybody, because I did that in Cincinnati a lot. And I turned around and Mary was in the same corner. The reselling chicks, we laughed about that because, there's too many people. But yeah.
In Nashville, the first 2 years, I forced myself to talk to people because, being an introvert sucks, and you never get anything out of it. But but I had the best time of my life both years that we went, and I don't care what I'm doing next year. We're going.
So JR says paper tapes are a must for volume, especially the electric ones. I've been using over 20 years. I've been using one now for 5? Man, I wouldn't give anything for that machine. That thing's awesome.
Yeah, that's the one piece of inventory or equipment that I wouldn't get rid of. I get rid of the bubble machine first, the air pillow machine. I get rid of. I get rid of a lot of things before I get rid of that.
So Roman says, me and Todd tried Whatnot and realized that nobody understands us. So what happened? Nobody wanted to buy from just a hand, and nobody could really understand Roman. Oh my goodness.
At this point in time, now Whatnot may eventually become this huge platform where anybody can sell anything and make good money. But at this point in time, 90% of the people on there buying and selling are resellers. So and if they're not, you have to have a pretty good following to get anybody to buy anything.
You want to know what?
That's okay. I mean, it's early in the platform's life.
One of the most difficult things I did in Cincinnati was as I was standing on the boat on the upper deck, and they were playing this loud music from the 90s that was coming through these crackling speakers that was too loud, trying to listen to Paul, the Philly Flipper, and Roman Anytime Picker have a conversation with Ukrainian and wherever the hell Roman's from, the dialects, and my Southern English trying to keep up with all that. Oh my God, that was tough.
Hey, is Roman more understandable when he's been drinking?
He's louder.
Like Bobcat Goldthwait. Bobcat went on. Well, it wasn't Night Court. What's that other show that John Larroquette did where he was in that train station? That show. Bobcat went on that show, and then he drank and he could speak normally. It was funny as hell. That's
Roman's just louder when he's loud anyway, but just louder when he drinks. Good morning, Noah. There's the link if you want to come tell us about your video. I'm living your video today from yesterday. So is Wick still making videos? Wick is a video making machine. He puts out one about every 2 days,
and they're good quality.
Yeah, and really, if you want to find out what to buy, and want a seller that constantly puts out everything he finds, Wick is a.
Somebody, as far as reseller videos, he's about the only one I watch anymore. There's a couple. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know. No, I don't know if you guys know old school picker. I'll watch one of his videos once in a while. I kind of like the guy. He's laid back, kind of no drama. I like the no drama channels.
So which one is old school? Did I meet old school in Cincinnati? Somebody tell me if
I like Kevin's videos until he started putting his feet in them.
Yeah,
Tennessee picker. I'll watch Kevin.
Beard King picker. It'll be next summer. We haven't come up with a date. There's 3 or 4 of us that'll plan it. And as soon as we get anything nailed down, we will Phil's the head organizer of it. He actually lives in Nashville. So
Yeah.
Phil just mentioned a couple weeks ago that we're going to have it again, but we haven't got together to make any plans yet. But we've
and
so
Kevin,
last time basically
don't ever wear sandals.
We got there on a Friday. We hung out and went to dinner Friday. Saturday, a lot of it's flea market and yard sale. So it'll be the last weekend of a month in the summer because we'll time it up with the flea market. The National Flea Market is a really nice flea market, and we did yard sales. I still remember we were going to go to yard sales, and Glenn was like, can I follow you to yard sales? And he looked again. He goes, I don't know if I can keep up with you, Beard. Can I ride? And so I had to. So swamp picker.
I just remember that Barry and Shane went together, and Shane didn't stop all day long, and so Barry's not eating. It's crazy, and Barry's like, it was a rough day. Some people are just machines, man.
Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. So
my wife and I,
Rennie reselling. That's folks. Take this to heart, Rennie. The one thing I've never met you before. The one thing I can tell you is I challenge you to do that. Set up a locally quarterly eBay meetup group. The amount of information and the benefits you will get from that. So we've got one here in Huntsville. About 8 of us meet, 8 additional to the ones who do Tuesday nights. And man, it's just cool. There's one of them does, buys pallets and they sell, they're big Poshmark sellers and they do Poshmark Live. I mean, it's completely opposite from anything I do. It's just the ideas and stuff that you can pick up from, morning off.
By the way, I will be going to see Barry this weekend.
So the stuff that you pick up, that you look, if you've got an open mind and think, man, I know that's what they do, but if you can blend that into what you do and make it your own, man, you can learn so much from, and it gives you more contacts to reach out in case you've got questions. I challenge anybody who doesn't have a meetup in your area, man, just take the initiative. I'm the worst one to tell you to do that because I'm an introvert and I hate that kind of stuff. But I'll participate all day long, and now that I know all these people, they're like really good friends, and so I have no problems. But yeah,
I would, the closest reseller that I would have to meet up with would be Roman.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but he lives all the way in Cleveland or near Cleveland, and I'm kind of on the other side.
JR, you're right. An air pillar machine is only second to a tape machine. That's correct. I got them both. I wouldn't give a thing for both of them. But yeah, the paper tape machine first, for 100% sure.
As a full-time reseller who sends out a lot of stuff, yes, I 100% agree. Especially if you're doing electronics and things like that. But as a small-time guy, I don't use the air pillow machine right now. I'm out of film, and I don't need to buy it because I'm not selling that much. So I still love the paper tape machine, though. That's the last thing that goes.
I got the notification.
I see your boxes, Todd.
I got the notification for your video as I was standing in my brand new storage building. I'm like, and I started looking at it, and I'm like, she's talking about the one thing. Please go watch Noah's Last. It's only 4 minutes. It's a great video. It really talks about what you need to preparing yourself for this Q4, which we're already a month into, and the big times are coming. I'm going to spend the next 2 days emptying this building and reassembling it in a 20 by 20 storage building, so that this will be empty. So that I'm telling you, the worst. I have struggled with sales lately. I have struggled with listing. Because you come out here and look, and this. If you've seen one of my last videos, you saw the other side. I can't even walk. I can only walk 2/3 the other side because the other third's so full you can't get in there. You're stepping over it. You're tripping up. It really does affect your mindset and being able to, I sit down and I'm like, where am I going to shoot a video talking about stuff? People are probably tired of looking at all this and all the stuff, so I am very encouraged the fact that now that I have the new one, I'm going to empty this place out. I'm going to set up cameras in here. I'll get you some shipping videos because Tom wants to know what I ship it in a box. And be able to do a lot more talking videos because you get very self-conscious when you're a video creator and everything is a damn disaster that you have to try to clean up a little space that the camera can only see, because remember, the creator controls the camera shot. So I'm excited. I'm gonna live your video, Noah. So it was a good time.
I don't think you should be horribly self-conscious. My area is the way it is because I don't do well with a visual mess. And that's just me. There are a lot of people that just really doesn't bother.
I only do well with a visual mess.
So I mean, I absolutely no judgment on anybody for however you have your areas. Everybody's different, right? And
Correct.
and especially through the spring and late fall, when everybody is sourcing hard because that's when the garage sales,
you can't see my mess,
and all of that stuff are there. They're available.
But the one thing I'll challenge you is I've got that opportunity to redo and really plan out, like I showed you on the back of this scribble. I'm really, laying out what shelves I need, how much I've got space between each one, and what's going to go on which ones, and really think it through, because the one thing, I cut the shelves short on 2 of them so I can put 2 tables in there, and you're like, why would you need 2 tables in a storage room that just has your inventory?
Because
the one thing that's crazy is you see folks. Who am I going to call out? What's his name? I watch him. He shows you a lot what he does. Is his name Josh too? Another Josh?
Josh Galt.
No, the other. What's his name?
Josh Graff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll have all the stuff on the floor, and that's fine. But I'm like, man, I'm almost 55 years old. I don't want to be bending. To have a table.
He might not get back up.
And to be able to set things down and organize coming in, organize going out. So I challenge you, if you have a redo or need to do a redo, really think it through. I'm trying to make space because I've got the auction I need to put stuff for, but they don't get listed, even though it needs to be technically it is listed if it's going to the auction. So it needs to be in that building or my trailer. I need a section for unlisted because I got to declare this completely or I'm dead. And
so I have, and I didn't show it, but I pointed to it. I have the one storage unit that has my shipping table and all my shipping stuff in it. I have another one that same size that is literally all unlisted inventory. And I'll tell you what, the 2 rolling racks that I have in my listed inventory, I have 10 of them in there. So I have the same shelving down and around, and then I have 8 of those racks that just roll in. So right. I don't have anything that I can't get to within however long it takes me to pull the rolling racks out and get to it. And each rack has however you want to call it, a different niche on it. Does that make sense? So if I go to an estate sale and I buy a box full of, I don't know, we'll say sewing notions and stuff like that, I have a rolling rack in my unlisted inventory that I put that stuff in, so that when I go to list that kind of stuff, or I've been picking up a lot of that material and anything. I don't want to say so much so crafty, because it's quilting and crocheting and that kind of stuff. And that's where that is. I have a whole rack that is just dolls, because I bought out a whole estate sale of dolls.
That's just 1 second. That's I put in a link. We're talking about Wick Flipping Junk. That's his channel on YouTube. I put it in the chat. I don't know if it's down there. I hadn't got to it.
Oh, Wick is amazing.
I got to say that I would never have tables in my storage unit. And the reason is because if there's a flat surface, I'll pile shit on top of it. And so for me, that wouldn't work. But you got to know yourself when you're trying to do an organization thing. My back room downstairs looks like hell.
It is nice to have a table. Like yesterday, I had a bunch of boxes like Beard did, that my son brings me little boxes and stuff like that I had taken, and I needed to break them down and put them away. And so I took my grandson to school and went down and did my shipping, and then I went through a bunch of bins and consolidated stuff and made more area. But I think one of the biggest things, the best things that you can do for yourself, Scott, is letter your shelves, because you're not going to have 26 shelves in that area. You're not going to fit them. One shelf is A, and then you have A 1, 2, 3, 4, however many levels, and then you can have A1. You'll have however many boxes you have. A1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? A2, 3, 4, 5, 6. However,
I letter by bins, but it's the same concept.
Well, you'll totally letter your bins, but you want each shelf to have yeah. So I have on shelf B, I have 5 levels, and on B1 I have 6 boxes. Does that make sense?
And by the way, Rennie, I did see your comment.
So Roman, when you did your little list of resellers on YouTube, you forgot Wick. I don't think he gets enough credit for the content that he puts out. He's
his own type of individual, and
Roman, you forgot me too, by the way. My feeling is hurt.
It is 10 o'clock, folks.
He called me controversial. What the hell? I'm not controversial.
Who did?
When did speaking the truth become controversial?
when people that don't want to hear it.
Oh, Trina, absolutely. So the next time we have it, I'll find a way to post it.
But anyway, guys, I got to get out of here. I got to do some things for the lovely lady of my life. And
so Martha says her group is super secret about what they buy and sell.
Have a great week, Steve.
Why does that matter on eBay? Why do you need to hide what you sell on eBay? It makes no sense.
Unless you're selling the same thing over and over and over. But
I can find your store.
How many people are going to find? I don't even have anything in here right now. Okay, this is a capacitor. How many people are going to find a capacitor and resell that? You know what I mean, but this exact one,
right,
that kind of thing.
How many people will find them and they'll walk right by them, but they aren't going to pick them up because they don't think anybody out there wants them.
I listened to that before I started the show. I mean, because
now you're going to lose money because now I'm going to go find some enlisted at a yard sale.
I bought a yard sale for $1, so good luck. And it's still sealed with its seals, and it's still in date.
Or this particular camera that I got to get listed. It's only a $70 camera, but how many people are going to actually find this weekend at a yard sale? You know what I mean?
Hey, is that an SX120?
But anyway, I got to go.
Is that an SX120?
No, it's a Nikon Coolpix L340.
It looked like a Canon SX120. I'm like,
this used to be my main eBay camera. I bought this for $25 at Salvation Army.
That was a deal.
But anyway, I am out. Sweetwater out. That's what I mean. Later.
Bye, Steve.
I'm trying to see if I've missed anything so far.
Even like Kevin said, he has a couple other stores that he doesn't advertise that come directly from the manufacturer. I don't want anyone to find them. Yeah, but Kevin, when you walk through your I haven't watched. Is Kevin still filming videos?
I think Kevin averages about one a month.
I was going to say, I haven't seen a video from Kevin. I used to watch everything Kevin did.
But he's still alive, and then all of a sudden he goes away.
This last couple of years with moving, selling the farm and moving and all of that, I just don't watch that. Kevin, when you walk through your store, we see what you sell, buddy. We see it. That's funny.
Yeah, Rennie, Steve is more of an introvert than I am. Good luck with that.
Beth, if that works for you, then that's good. Beth color codes her stuff. And that does. Everybody has a different way. I can't do the infinite number system, which is a good system for a lot of people within your bins. I can't do that.
Okay, so Kevin, that makes no sense. I have that come directly from the manufacturer. I don't want to. Well, most people are too lazy to go get it from a manufacturer to begin with. But if we can't find it, customers can't find it. What the hell?
It'll be nice for you, Lisa. It'll be nice for you. Yeah, it's hard. I'm still listing Furbies.
Javis, now that Javis is here, good morning, Javis, so we can tell the important stuff. You've already missed the fun stuff. So that's really the only reason why I even show up here is to find out. But yeah, so I've got this building is 20 by 24 and the unit is 20 by 20. So it's almost very close to identical. So I really will be able to, the storage building organization is not hard. It's easy to lay out. It's easy to take advantage of the most space. It's figuring out what I'm going to do with this building to maximize shipping, listing, processing.
How big is that area that you have there?
20 by 24. I can go as high as I want to. The ceilings are like 12 feet or 11 feet.
So that to me is what most people do not maximize on. Most storage units are tall, super tall.
That's why these shelves go as high as they do to take advantage of.
So as you saw in my video, my shelves, I have a ladder. I have a ladder that I move back. The things that the totes that I don't get into that often are up on top because it's long tail selling.
And so, folks, I challenge you really, if you're out there sourcing, especially yard sales, challenge what you can use in your business. I've got a small ladder, and now that ladder is going to go and stay in the storage building. Little did I know, I kept it because it helps me get to the top of these. But even if they're not that tall over there, having the ladder or it'll keep you from pulling them down. If you can just step up to it.
I have 3 of them.
It's amazing, but if you didn't see one of my shorts or whatever I even talked about? Yeah, I talked about. I picked up a laser printer at a yard sale for a freaking $1 Saturday. $1. It is a Brother laser printer for $1. I asked the lady, for $1, does it work? And she said, my company wanted me to have a color one, and so they provided me with a color one. Now this one is in the way. I want it gone. And she said, it just doesn't print color. I'm like, okay, $1.
Ever seen one of these?
Oh yeah.
So I was at an estate sale and I bought a bunch of stuff, and she goes, I have become very good friends with several of the estate sale dealers here, which does not get me a deal, by the way. But anyway, what it gets me is boxes of cool stuff sat on my front porch. She said, I have tons of bubble wrap. Do you need bubble wrap? And I said, yeah. So she pulls 2 boxes of bubble wrap out and goes and puts them in my car. Well, that was another thing I did yesterday, was pulled all that bubble wrap and stuffed it into my bin. And this was in the bottom of one of those boxes. It's been sitting in my storage unit for 2 months now. They sell pretty good. It's all there.
Yeah, people will spend tons of money on their animals, especially to watch videos of their own animals.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just look at my phone, and it's just crazy. You start looking at the pictures and go, is there anybody else here but the dogs? That's my last picture. I sent it to Joni. I'm like, your dog is sitting on top of me asleep. All I got back was traitor. Jody went to work. She went to the volunteer. I'm like, somebody misses you out in the grass. I have pictures and videos of dogs everywhere. But it's absolutely amazing what you can. 2 weeks ago, I picked up did I talk about the MacBook? A $7 MacBook. It's got a broken screen. So what? A broken screen. It's a 2015 MacBook Pro. It will handle your eBay business for the next 8 or 10 years. I've got a 2011 sitting right over there. I can fire it up on eBay on it right today. It's still that good. And the 15, is 4 years newer. Okay, so it had. So here's why you have friends, folks. I might talk about this last week. If I did, bear with me.
We're supposed to have friends.
It had Linux on it. The guy used it for whenever the screen broke. He's like, I'll just use it for my security system, and he ran Linux on it through an external monitor. No problem. He upgraded the Raspberry Pi, so this is a smart guy. And so he was selling it for $7. He didn't need it anymore. It didn't mean anything to him. I'm on the phone with Jacob King. He's Scan to Freedom. You'll find is his name. You'll see him in here every now and then. He's probably in here just lurking. And within a couple hours of being hanging out on the phone with him, we had figured out how to get it back and switched it back over. And in the meantime, so get this. In the meantime, I'm talking about this MacBook I'm on right now, this 2019, and how the prices have dropped on this computer. If you need a MacBook computer, the 2019 is the last year of the Intel before they went to M1. And there's a big difference in performance, supposedly, from M1. But this 5-year-old computer just screams. And I paid $2,700 for it. It cost $3,500 new. Jacob picked up this computer for $600 just because I mentioned it, and we started looking for it on eBay the other day on the phone with Jacob. He's like, I really need to get rid of this 12, this 12, and this 13. He's like, I can sell all these and have the same and have one computer that's really good. It's okay. So I talked to somebody. I was talking about Franklin. You want to come see, huh? What's up, Eves? I know. Hey, everybody. I don't like none of y'all.
Mohawk.
I don't like none of y'all. Did we watch the BB? You ain't going up there. I'll turn on that other door. Anyone watch the video interview of Caitlin's? She sells 100 and is that correct? 170,000 a month.
Where?
On Whatnot. How do you ship that much?
She has employees.
At 18 years old, has employees? I will check that out. That is very fascinating.
Guarantee you she has employees. She couldn't even sell that much. And I'm not saying her personally. You have to have help when you're selling at that rate. Have you done Whatnot yet?
I've had 3 Whatnots, I think.
I'd like to say I'm fairly decent at a lot of things, but that platform frustrates me just because of the way you have to have things set up.
Yeah.
Now, if it is her father's warehouse and it is running through her dad. Are you talking about Caitlin, Josh?
Well, that makes more sense. 4 family members.
4 family members and her 72-year-old. Yeah, there's no way. And she might be selling that much, but she do you know who why can't I think of her first name, but she goes by eBay Princess. Did you meet her at eBay Open?
I did not.
She is one smart cookie. Go follow her. Go follow her on Instagram. She doesn't just do Whatnot, but she does Whatnot like crazy. She's a real estate agent. She has all kinds of other different businesses. I hung out with her for quite a while, both eBay Opens. And she put some stories out the other day about, because people complain about how hard Whatnot is, and it's not easy. And you have to have a following, and you have to be consistent on Whatnot. You need to have your shows scheduled, and you need to have them out there because people need to know you're coming back, or they don't care. They're on to somebody else. You know what I mean? So, but you really, really, really to maximize your time on Whatnot and your profit and what you're doing, you need to have somebody running the computer, somebody showing the items, and somebody else taking them. If Mel back from Burnout did a video with Chris, Daily Refinement, and she did a video on her channel showing his operation and how they did it. And I was like, that is beautiful, because Chris has two gals that do his Whatnot, And basically, as they show the one gal is showing an item and selling it, the other gal's getting another one. And when that gal is done showing her item, she goes right over here to the computer. She prints out the shipping, packages it up, and puts it in the thing, and it's done. And by the time she's done with that, the other gal's done selling her item, and that's how they do it. And it works, and it works great for them. So, it's just finding a system and a situation. But when you talk about people not being able to see things on Whatnot, that's how it is. It's all flash and glitter, right? For a lot of people, you don't see what the mess is as it's going.
Right. I've watched 3 or 4 people that do the same thing. They've got somebody running the camera. They're behind it doing whatever, and then they hand it off to somebody else who's immediately boxing it up, or at least has a box that is open in case somebody buys more than one item. But they're preparing items by buyer so that whenever the show is over, they can Whatnot. I mean, you've got to find your lane, folks, and that's you can't do something because you see somebody doing it. You've got to figure out what your strengths are. Mention a SWOT analysis, and you really need to do one personally in yourself. And that's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. What are your strengths? Remember, this is your chance to build your business to your strengths and what you want to do. And what are your weaknesses? And what opportunities do you have in your area? And what threats are they? And there are folks that only sell Whatnot and do really well and would never touch eBay, and it goes both ways. And so it's not a bad thing. The one thing I see when I see these people who are successful in other platforms, I want to dig in a little bit to see what makes them successful. And the one thing I can tell you it comes down to, and the one thing that I've been really lacking, and John has been busting my balls for about 8 years now, is process and procedure. And if you're going to be successful in any of this, and that's what I'm looking forward to, having a really nice fourth quarter, is because by the time you see me again and all this shit's gone, I will have processes in place. Right now, I mean, I can show you the hallway, but if Joni comes out here, she has to turn around and leave because we both can't pass by.
Are you familiar with the term Kaizen?
No.
So I worked at Freightliner for 15 years. Kaizen was actually first introduced by Henry Ford, but the Japanese made it very popular in manufacturing for Toyota. So Kaizen, basically, you would have, let's say this is my workflow area. Your processing stuff comes in, you process it. You want to have a whole U-shaped system, right? You bring your stuff in, you process it, you put it away, you pull it. You have a central station right here. You pull your stuff, you come back to that central station, and you ship it. So in here and then out. You're not going to one place grabbing stuff, another place grabbing stuff. So that is how I am setting up my basement, because I worked on the Kaizen team at Freightliner for several years, and we went and we streamlined different areas of manufacturing and setting stuff up. And there's nothing better than to have that process where you bring stuff in, you deal with it, clean it, do whatever you need to do, and then it goes into your inventory, and then you go to your inventory and you pull it and you put it right there. The more streamlined you can have your areas and your inventory and where it is, if you can have all of that in one area and then have that central area where you do your workflow. So you would have an area where your bubble, your air machine and your tape machine and all of that stuff was sitting at the parking lot.
Hey, Pat D, hey, much love to you, brother. Still praying for you every day, man.
Yep.
Keep fighting, my man. You're gonna beat this again. I look forward to seeing you in Nashville again. Pat D's first time I think it was the first time I met him in person. Might have been there. I've several times met Pat in person. just salt of the earth, good dude, and in the fight for his life again. And I know he's up for it, but it's good to see you this morning, man. Okay, so I'm selfish. So another reason people say, figured after 5 or 6 years, why do you still deep doing the morning show? You know, how much more reselling can you talk? And it's a selfish reason. It's y'all I don't know if y'all realize I learn things nearly every week of this show, just interacting with you guys and people on the panel. If you've got to, this show is not for everybody. I'm trying to make it more for everybody. So I don't know if you noticed, this will be 3 weeks about politics. I'm not going to talk politics anymore. You can get me in person or message me. I'll tell you what I think. It's not going to change. But the one thing I can tell you is the more you listen to people who have experience, and most of the people who watch this show are experienced resellers, people they have hung out with them for a long time. They're smart folks. This chat is full of smart folks. The panel has always got somebody smart on here.
Todd's here every week.
Well, that's the exception to the rule, right? But there's always one exception. But everybody just sees Todd's hand, and if you spent some time listening on the other shows about what he talks about in his buying and the way he does stuff, you can learn a ton about reselling in general. Just from somebody who claims he only does it part time, a few hours a day. But I challenge you to take what people tell you and what you read and hear, verify that it's true. Always never trust, verify that it's true. And then your job as a listener to this show, and yes, you have a job, is I want you to participate, and I appreciate that. But I also want you to use the information and apply it to your business the way it is most effective for you. Don't copy what I do. Don't copy what Noel does. Because if you're trying to copy something and you don't apply it to yourself and your strengths, it's never going to stick.
Right.
There are some exceptions to that, but it's never going to stick. And you've got to, because when she's talking about the Kaizen, I'm trying to figure out, because I want this building to do. The building's going to do two things. The building's going to take in inventory to ship and go out, and it's going to take inventory to process, list, and go out. And I'm like, those two shouldn't cross, because if it comes in, it should turn. It should go one way for processing and one way for shipping. And so it's almost like I'm going to make a U in here. It's going to be two U. I guess
exactly.
Two U's, and they both come in, and then they split and go the other way out. One goes to shipping side and this shipping side, and one goes to process, list, and out. And then, because I had the idea to shoot videos out here and make a little area, but the office inside, I've got Joni is challenged on making a nice background so that when I do a talking head video, y'all can see shelves, and it makes it nicer that normal people come by. Resellers don't care. I get it. But regular people who would drop by and think, look at all that craziness. And so I challenge you.
It's nice to have a spot where you can display a few things, and change them out as they sell. That pretty much everything that I have, except for my broom.
Is that a Kia or a Hyundai?
What?
Your car up there, is that a Kia or a Hyundai?
That's a Cadillac, man.
Oh, Cadillac.
What was that, Johnny? Don't ask me what year. What was that Johnny Cash song where he worked at the
one part at a time?
Yeah.
One piece at a time? Yeah.
One piece at a time. That's right.
One piece at a time. That shows you we're old when we know Johnny Cash songs.
I love Johnny Cash. Oh, heavens.
It's truly the amount of information, and I'll tell you the same thing for John and Josh. There's a lot. Find you some, there's plenty of people out there like Wick who teach and show stuff, and if you listen to him, he'll tell you. But he's mainly this is what I bought, this is what he's mainly that, and he's very good at it. But I challenge you to also find others that you can listen to. Like whether you agree, I'll be listening some mornings, and Josh, and I've been guilty of this. I've sent Noel a message talking about, has Josh flipped his mind this morning?
Josh ignores me now. He never answers my comments. Doesn't give me credit for anything I say that he uses. So, I mean, what are you gonna do?
But he has a different.
He never gets 1/3 down through the comments.
I know. I put stuff down at the bottom just to see if he reads it.
He does. He reads the comments every day. He goes up and he reads them and he comes back down.
But it's you could tremendously listen to people's experiences and understand. They go through a lot of the same struggles, and how did they deal with it, and what is your strength, and how is your personality, and how do you deal with it? It's amazing. You could use YouTube as like your own business therapy session to really, work out kinks and try things and ask questions. Because I don't know any of these creators. If you ask them questions, I read all the comments. I might not reply to every single one of them, but I check every comment that's ever left on the channel. The chat's too hard to follow. I've tried today to do better.
Kevin.
But it's this is as much as I don't like being a people person, is that the business is where your strength is. You don't have coworkers, or you're your own boss. You're in your own little, and technically, other sellers on eBay are your competition, sort of. Really, I mean, unless you sell identical, like me and Kevin, Tennessee Picker, we buy a lot of the same stuff. But even then, I've got the video. At some point, I'll get it up of us at the flea market. Both of us are carrying crap out of the flea market, and both of us learn different things because the other one, even though we buy so similar, I had no idea about the headphones that he picked up. He's like, this brand? They're aircraft headphones. And I had no idea. And I picked up a couple things, and he's like, "Are you serious? That really sells?" I'm like, "Oh, absolutely." So it's tremendous what you can learn, even in person. So don't be scared.
I had somebody, a new person I'd never seen before, comment on my video last week, and it was so funny. I don't delete comments. I just have never been that person. I deleted 3 comments last week because it was, "You're 5 minutes in and you haven't gotten to the point." And the next one was, "It's 16:01 and you still haven't gotten to the point." And then the next one was, I'm 21 minutes in and I'm going to watch this and I'm going to leave another comment when you finally get to the point. And I was just like, click, click, click.
The point is reselling is a process. And you've got to, in order to understand why somebody bought something, why somebody sold something, how they got to where they are, you got to, it's hard to, reselling is not like most YouTube videos. It's much harder to tell a story. There are people that are good at telling stories, but it's much, the people who do the videos, or I found this, look what I found, are much better at storytelling. But to get to the people like me who just, I ramble a lot, but in my ramblings, there should be enough information to worth the ramble. Because I feel like I've tried a lot of stuff.
That's good, Pat. He's up to just past 800 followers and 500 items sold. I'm at 1,100 and getting there to 500. So
Holly P said I was one of the first ones she watched and learned a lot of shit. I'm gonna get back to making the shipping videos. That's the one thing I will set up out here is as I'm setting up the process, the cameras will be able to do. I'll show you listing. I'll show you the way I'll ship over there. I think this side is still going to say shipping because the things on the wall. It's just I got to figure out where to put the desk. Even if the desk might just go inside. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do about a desk out here.
You're gonna want the desk out there too.
I'll figure out a space somewhere. Maybe it's on the other side out of the. I'll cut one loop short and.
Ginger Marvin, they've got a counter all the way down that storage unit they've got.
Damn it. Their storage unit gives me anxiety.
Really?
Yeah. They have plastic shelves and paper boxes. and those plastic shelves go like this after a while.
Yeah.
And paper boxes, do they give you more space? They do.
But
you're in a storage
banker
unit.
boxes.
There are people in my storage unit that are smoking in their storage units. You can't control everybody else. I have everything in almost all of my expensive stuff, even though it's all insured. I have everything in plastic for a reason. You couldn't pay me to have the hundreds of thousands of dollars that Josh has in paper and old paper and stuff in his new storage system. Couldn't pay me to do that in paper boxes. Heck to the no. Moisture, bugs, dirt, dust. That is paper's worst enemy.
Well, Ginger Marvin, they got all their stuff in bags, but they mostly have shoes and shirts and stuff.
Just because you have it in a bag is not protecting it from water. Dom, Primetime Treasure Hunter, had a pipe leak in his ceiling, and he has comic books. Well, they were all in bags and boarded. Do you think that saved them?
Probably not.
No.
Yeah. What's his name here too? Had all of his in. He had all his Legos just in his garage, and he had a water leak and lost Legos.
But I mainly brought them up because they got that long counter in their.
Yeah, the flipping account
that they work off of.
Well, so Legos can be washed. What do you mean? They lost the boxes. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I went there brand new.
Yeah, gotcha.
And be careful with Legos. If you sell too many Legos, Jory's will, whoever they are out of Ohio, will send you ugly, nasty grams. They've been working with Lego, so Lego is going to be the next thing people bitch about on Amazon.
I do shows to show you what not to buy. So I said in my video yesterday, I don't want to hear anything about the spaces in between my clear totes, because there is space, because you can't find a tote that's completely square by yep, there you go.
You see the hole for the attic right there?
Yeah.
I was right before one of the morning shows, and a little bitty snake fell down from there onto my desk. He just went plop. I went, whoa! So it happens, yeah. My area is not snake proof.
It is what it is. It doesn't matter where you are in what area of the world. But I just feel like you can get the bigger banker boxes. You sure can. But they're still paper. The only thing that's really gonna ravage is a fire or a hurricane, or something like that. So I get all my totes at IKEA, because that's the only place that I know of that you can buy a tote separately from the lid, and you can buy a lid separately from the tote. Anywhere else, you get your totes and lids. You get together. A tote and you get a lid together, and once one of them is busted and broken, you're screwed.
But it's whatever works for you. I don't know. There's definitely a right or wrong. There's just what works for you, and some things are. So Texas Bandit Field filing cabinets are, for the most part, you can get them
cheap.
The estate sales here selling them for the really nice ones $20, $10. Yep. That's what this one was 20. That big horizontal one that I rounded up full of DVDs. It was 20. This half one that's going to be. If Mark's still with us, I still hadn't opened that box. Mark, let me get my life in order, because I want to list these postcards, and he sent me a box after we talked, and so I do appreciate that, Mark. I just have not. It's still sealed. Once I have figured out where these computers go, because I've got computers everywhere, and figured out how I'm going to set this thing up. And that's the other thing. The computers you can pick up at yard sales, folks. I think the shipping or one of the listing, I have a Surface with a tablet. It'll run printers. It is just like it's running Windows 10. That thing takes up no space. You can move it in the end of the table, and it cost me $20 at a yard sale.
Have you seen Mark's video? It's been a while. I shouldn't say a while. On his storage and how he stores his stuff.
I've heard it live in person when he told me on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he has a video. For those of you that don't know Mark, SMP Sports Guards, He has a video on how he stores all his stuff, and
if you've got small stuff and you want to, if you just want organizational ideas, subscribe to SMP Postcards. He's right there in the chat, 933. Crazy intellectual, and the way he's thought about all this stuff and the way he do things. I tell you, that's one of the highlights of my trip to Cincinnati was spending time with Mark and really even learning even further how deep his mind goes and how he really processes all this stuff. Good morning. What the hell, Harlan? It's 9:33.
It's 7:30. It's 7:33. Good morning, Harlan.
Just because you're hungover on Vegas time does not.
Oh, Harlan's in Vegas without you?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Doesn't Mark it's like, store postcards in fish tanks?
It's like, yeah. It's like Boys Gone Wild instead of Girls Gone Wild.
So how is the hotel, Harlan? He's staying at the Hotel Apache. It's just off the strip. I mean, just off of
Hi, Glenn.
Fremont. And Justin's his roommate. Justin's staying with him. Flipping accountant, Justin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hotels got really expensive. What was that? I was looking up something on my phone now. I can't remember.
Okay, Mark.
Damn it.
It'll come back to you in a few minutes.
But it's amazing what you can learn from folks. It's amazing, and the relationships you in reaching out. You know, there's people that send me Facebook messages about questions, and
Scott, are you in Vegas?
Hey, thanks for the super chat. Just from
that's Scott Cha-Ching King. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
I have followed Scott Cha-Ching King since he started his account on Instagram, and I used to do a morning show with Danica, Lady Luck Junk, and she was in Texas, and she'd be like, I can never find anybody to really to go and source with. And I go, oh, Scott Cha-Ching King's doing this huge loop garage sale or something. He put it on Instagram. I said, go find him. He was inviting people to come and meet up and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden Scott starts making videos, and pooh, there he is. He and his wife Melody are amazing. And if you guys aren't following Scott, then I can't help you. The other Scott. You're not in Vegas, okay?
Yeah. Mark, until they mark you as suspended or whatever, they will pay while you're waiting on the postcard. That's correct.
Somebody gets suspended?
No, he's probably just going through the.
All right, I just sub Scott.
He's got probably, I will have to say, if you have somebody that asks you if you can help them start selling on eBay, send them to Scott. He's Cha-Ching King. He's probably got the best tutorials on how to sell. And he's a former teacher, and he was a principal for a long time too. But I mean, he's just
it's there's something about that. You know, that's what Kevin does a really good job. People learn a lot from Commonwealth, former teacher. And Cha-Ching King Scott, I'll check out some of your stuff. I subscribe to. And even though people tell me I'm pretty decent at explaining stuff when I get in my video, it's because I've trained so many people in restaurants. If you just got to break it. You got to be patient and break it down to the lowest common denominator.
Dang. He's got a lot of subscribers.
He does. He's good at what he does. I'm telling you.
Harbor's Hope. Cha-Ching King's channel is Cha-Ching King. Okay. That's like Tom. How am I going to ship that in a box? I'm going to ship that in a box. I so I so wanted him to come in here while Steve had the space background on. So whenever he got here, I could ask Tom, how do you think Steve is breathing without a space mask? Tom, you dodged a bullet. But the one thing that, as I think about how I'm going to break this area up is I've been talking about one thing that I haven't done yet. I've talked about parting and parting out things. And it's very difficult to part out things when everything in here looks like a damn part. And so with the other building and having places to put stuff, I'm actually probably going to go a step farther with the tubs and use some of the smaller ones to put parts in, and what works for my mind instead of everything being the larger ones. Maybe that means using banker boxes as well and breaking a machine down into a banker's box. I'm excited for the ability to. The one thing I can't get any help. If I ever wanted someone to help me, there's no helping. Because you can't come out here. Explaining where something.
So IKEA makes this size too.
I don't have an IKEA.
And you can order them; they'll deliver to you, kind of like Amazon. Just thought I'd
put
that out there for you.
Like and they brought the 70 bag.
Size. I don't think I have it in here. They make another size that you could stack two right here. So,
like they brought those 70 blue bags I ordered.
Yep.
Check my email. All right, I will.
I got merch finally, you guys.
I need it. I've never done that. I need to do that.
It's just earrings. I had some earrings made. Nothing exciting. I don't wear them, but a lot of people wanted something, so I'm having some keychains made here soon too. But anyway, you like banana boxes? Whatever works for you. There should never be any judgment from somebody else as to how you have your things organized. When I started, I used whatever I could get. I had all different kinds of totes, whatever you could get for cheap or whatever, So
yeah, it just came back to. Let me see if it's available. If it's available, I'll let you know. If it's not, I won't let you know. Well, I'll tell you what you missed. They're sold out. So here's another reason why you have good friends. And so I get a text one day last week saying, I know you've got a light box, but I saw this was a crazy good deal. Maybe you need a second one. So I ordered one. Woot.com, my buddy found Woot.com, the basics. That's $130 light box that Woot was selling for $29.
Why do you want something like that that's going to take up a huge amount of space? That's just a pain in the ass. That's when it's folded up, dude.
I know, but I'll have a spot like right between two tables. I'll just put it between the two.
Right here on my desk, I have a sit-stand desk from IKEA, and it's a corner desk. I have 3 monitors right here. And you know what? As a matter of fact,
this show is not sponsored by IKEA, by the way.
No, it just happens to be.
Everybody's different in the way they do things, and I was just my tables are a mess, and every one of my pictures has a little hole in the table, and I'm like, you know what?
Right there. That's where I take the majority of my pictures. Then I have another listing table right here, and I just have lights. I don't want something that's going to be. I've never in my life, for 5 years, I had a table with a chicken light over the top of it in my dining room.
But so some of the other videos I'm going to make too is just about parting out things and what a machine's worth whole versus separate. You'll be amazed. There's some things I know you can find this hard to believe, but there's some things out there, the machines and stuff you can buy that you can't sell as a whole and making money on them. But if you rip it apart, it's okay. So I've got a treadmill that I bought for $45, and the stupid things are stuck up, and so it's got an issue somewhere. The computer board's worth 150. The little plastic thing, because it's a Bowflex. Each one of those treads, which they both work and they both pass, both of them treads, they're worth 150. So one of the first things I'm going to tear apart is that damn treadmill, and I'm going to part that treadmill out. It's a good thing it's not going to rain for a few days. Mark's photo box is called an Epson scanner. So I've got the scanner here, Mark. I'm ready to go. I've got to set up an area.
There you go, Mark. There's my photo box. See the scanner in the back there?
So Kevin, this one actually doesn't work. It's a step climber, the one they're supposed to go up and down. But they're stuck like this. The wheels run, it passes the speed test and everything, but whatever tells them to go up and down is not telling them to go up and down anymore. And so there's about 10 parts on that machine.
You have to stand on it to make it go up and down. Just saying. Just saying.
You can jump up and down on that damn son of a bitch. And I've lost some weight, but I'm not that light. At 190 pounds jumping up and down on it. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
The little magnetic key that comes in out of it's worth like, I think it was worth like $20. It's just a little one that shuts it on and shuts it off. So we're going to be parting out that and give them in the trash man the leftovers.
I'll tell you what, if you guys and gals are selling on Whatnot and you need a really nice setup, I have 2 of these. You can get a marble base and you put your phone right there and the whole thing. Turn the light off so I don't blind you guys. The whole thing rotates. This rotates. You put your phone there and you can put it down and work underneath it. So if you're doing small things, cards or stuff like that, jewelry, smalls, and then you want to flip it and talk so that people can see you, it's really a game changer. They're not cheap, but anyway, Canvas is who makes them.
But you get a lot of ideas, just remember, just because she is trying to convince me to like hers, my mind doesn't work like hers. And so what works, what is a good idea for me might not be a good idea for her. It goes back and forth. So,
yep.
So, figure this stuff out on your own. Really, I challenge you to play to your strengths and really design. I'm getting a wonderful opportunity to redo this whole area. And hopefully by the end of the fourth quarter, I'll be out of one of those other storage buildings. One of them is half personal, and one of them is half big girl panties.
Did you see what Mark just put out the disco ball?
Oh yeah.
Texas Val.
Hey Val.
Yeah, Mark. At your age, that's what you're worried about is the fish. Uh-huh. You or your wife will be the ones having seizures.
I got to go take the little guy to school. Everybody have a great day. I'm going to talk about Furbies on Thursday night. So if you guys want to know about Furbies, I have a few.
So speak of the devil who showed me the light box, that Scott C is entered the chat, who tells me to stop collecting storage units. That's rich. Okay. Scott C, I have 3 storage units. What say you, Scott C? How many storage units do you have? Let's see if he'll be honest and answer how many storage units. So, Robert, I've been talking about that. Going to design, I get from what's forming in my mind right now. Are your storage units double digits yet? You've got so many storage units. They gave you a key to the private shitter. Come on now. going to make a use. Dave says he got 25. I'm going to make a U section and one where everything comes in through the middle. And if it's shipping, it goes out one side. And if it's processing, it goes out the other. And I got to figure out where to put the desk because the shipping's going to be on this side.
How many do you have, Brenda?
I think Scott, I think the number is it's either 11 or 13. It's not 25.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he went to ASD and went a little nuts. If I need a CAD draw. Yeah, I gotta figure out where everything's gonna go first. First thing is I gotta pull all the junk out of here. It's gonna take. From 10:30 to dark. No, Robert, it's not temporary. The storage unit is 20 by 20. All these shelves are gonna be set up over there, and all the inventory. I'm gonna go over there. I only ship Monday, Wednesday, Fridays anyway. And so just 3 days a week, I will go over there to pick stuff. And then I have to leave. It's 2.5 miles from my house. And so I have to drive by there on my way out of town. And so if I, but the whole idea is get some process in here and be a lot more efficient and, allow, Johnny and Jacob to come here. Because I want Johnny to do some things. We're going to use her store to just do a specific product. And I want her to be able to come out here and help and learn how to do that kind of stuff. Also, with everything with a system, whenever I'm not here and I need 10 things shipped, it's much easier to go, here's where it is. Just go over there and get it. And then all the shipping stuff will be right here. Rent a U-Haul for the day and place everything there for a day. For what? I've got a truck and a 5x8 trailer. What do I need a U-Haul for? I'm just going to shove everything. Something else fell over. We're going to shove everything into the trailer and truck and take it over there. The trailer should be able to handle these shelves a half at a time. I should be able to take them down and carry. There's 3 sections in each one. I can get 2 sections in the trailer. So what I'm planning on doing is once I get everything on that side out, I'll take down the stuff off the shelf and put it in the truck, and then put the shelves in the trailer, and then drive that over there and immediately set it back up. And then tomorrow I'll be figuring out what to do with and how to organize all the unlisted so that either me or Jacob can drive over there, grab an unlisted box and bring it back and process 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes each day. No matter what it is. And then also as stuff comes in, I'll be able to deal with it versus or drop it off to the unlisted section. I've been making diagrams of the building and I haven't made diagrams of this yet. So it's not 10 o'clock yet, Victoria. I know you're just waking up because you're alive until I think I went to sleep before you even went live last night. That's terrible. But it's a great time to take a couple days and prepare for the fourth quarter and really lay this out to where the efficiency so I can really get going. Because a lot of stuff I do, I'd love to make a video of that, while doing stuff while I'm talking, James, my boring Reseller Life does a good job with, just regular videos of thoughts in his mind and what he's selling and shipping and that kind of stuff. So, Brenda, I thought, no, I'll ask you, how many do you have? My guess is 40. You probably own a set of storage buildings. If I had to guess. By the time I went and got a truck and everything else, I could have taken twice. It's only because it's only 2.5, 3 miles. It'd be much harder to get the U-Haul in and around the storage building complex. It's just a small complex. There's only 3 rows of buildings.
5,000. 1,000,000.
1,000,000. Hopefully today I'll get everything out of here today, and then this evening be able to start picturing in my mind how I'm gonna set this up. Yeah, Robert, that's the whole thing here. This is a 2-car garage, and it's just insane. And so the 20 by 20 building will match this, or pretty close to the same size, and allow me to keep all that inventory over there. And that's a lot, Brenda.
God dang.
That's a whole lot.
She doesn't rent them. She owns them.
Yeah, her sons run her company now. She had a company.
That's bigger than my operation. I'm like, if it don't fit in this converted garage, then I'm getting too big. Of course, I'm just.
I mean, it all fits. It all fits in here barely, but at the end of the day, if you want to do multiple things and really, it's you. If you're going to do this full time, you've got to have some work. You got to have some space. The easiest that I ever had it was, I had a building before I really made videos, and when I was in Wilmington, and it had an office up front, and it had a huge storage behind it. I forget what the back was. The back was like 20 by 40 with the office in front. It was and that was cheap back in 2015 for I think it was like $650 a month. It was pretty cheap. Yeah, Brenda's kids run her.
Oh, okay. How many kids you got, Brenda?
But I challenge you, really, watch Noel's video and really let it sink in. If you're in the same position I am in, where clutter, because my mind is not, I have ADHD to some extent, and I get out here and everything is so crazy, and I get lost, and there's so many shiny objects when everything is a shiny object, because there's stuff everywhere. You look at it and go, oh man, I remember buying that a few weeks ago. And then I'll start to list it and never finish it, and I'll be on to what I bought yesterday. It gets kind of crazy. Yeah, Ron, I hope this is the last reorganizing. I hope that this will work for me, so that because the storage bin is only $120 a month. It is not climate control, which is fine. I've had no issues with that kind of stuff, and the stuff I sell, it'll be fine. Hopefully the turn will be fast enough too, where it really won't matter. We're not as bad as Texas. Our bad months, we've only got 3 super hot months where you've got 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope so Robert's in the same position. Kevin, Ron, and Ron. I hope you're doing well, man. All the stuff. Hope haven't talked to you in a few days. Hopefully you're. It's glad to see you made it through the weekend after on your way to your new football coach, which is exciting. But I can't be the only one. And so there's some people here in the chat that are big enough to admit they have issues with the same thing. And so the thing I challenge you, as I got 2 minutes left, I challenge you to do something about it. I challenge you to not let it continue to be. Find your solution, whatever your solution is, and it's going to be different for everyone. Find a solution that works for you to make sure working through this business easier. This business is hard enough as it is. It's hard enough to be able to get yourself to list. It's hard enough, you've done all the sourcing and you bring it home and you're tired, and you don't have a boss, and so you got, wow. So you got to be a self starter. So I challenge you to take the time before, if you want to maximize the next, November, December, there's a 6 to 8 week period of just super sales coming. If you want to I challenge you to spend a couple days between now and next time you see me next Wednesday. You'll see me on shorts and videos, and I'll try to set the camera up so it'll do some time lapse, so it'll show you how this thing changes. I've never done a time lapse, so I'll have to figure that out. Other stuff
cool.
I've thought about.
Like to see that.
Other stuff I've thought about is how do you run power in a storage building that doesn't have power? If y'all remember, it's buried over there, but I had the power box that ran my CPAP machine. So I'm going to set that on one of those two tables that I'm going to put in the front. It's going to have my power, so that if I need any kind of power, or if I'm over there at night, I can turn lights on. And then when it needs to be recharged, I'll just stick in the truck and drag it home, and then drag it right back. It'll charge in the truck, or it'll charge. Kidney stone. Next kidney stone is next. All right, cool.
Is it an outdoor unit?
Mine, yes, and it's outdoor, and it's to the edge too. So
just get you a little $300 generator, and
well, I've got that thing will run. It's got 50 watt hours or something on it, so it's it's no starting it up, no worried about gas.
Okay, that's good enough for the amount of time you're going to spend over there.
Yeah, it ran my CPAP machine for 8 hours, and it wasn't even. It didn't even take 25% of it, so. It'll run that CPAP machine for 30 hours. So it'll, as we're about to do time changes next month, I've thought about that too. So I'm gonna put, efficient lights in there or something that it'll light up the place, so that I can early morning or late evening I can get my stuff out and go pick stuff I need. Try to think this all the way through, and that's what I challenge you to. If you're gonna put all this effort in to rearrange your business and rearrange the things you're doing, put enough thought and effort into it. Think about worst case. And that's the first thing I thought was, what the hell am I going to do if I'm going to go find something at 5 o'clock at night in 4 weeks? It's going to be dark. How do I get power over there? Because this one, they're outside units, so they don't have power. There's an answer. A lot of portable sales, and they've gotten a lot cheaper. Just be careful, Timothy, when you're buying them. There are different batteries. That one's got LiPo4 batteries in it. Maybe I don't leave it over there in the summer. Maybe in the summer I just bring it back and forth in the truck. But the summer is also not the time I need it, because it's daylight until 9 o'clock. So, because I wouldn't want to put it in extreme heat for any extended period of time. And we don't get cold. Our average day here is like 55 in the winter. But they're LiPo4, and it'll recharge 3,000 or 4,000 times before it starts losing any. And some of the older lithium batteries only get 500 or 600 charges. So you want to make sure you're buying LiPo4. I think that's how you say it. Do some research if you're going to buy one of those batteries. They're not all created equal. All right. Anybody else got any more questions before I go tell Jacob the good news that we're about to unload the building? Man, RG, I said good news. War Eagle is not good news. Haven't y'all lost enough yet to where that you'll quit saying those evil words? Yes, it will run my computer and lights. Absolutely. And that's the other thing too. Why have all these laptops and stuff? Maybe I leave that tablet. I was talking about the Surface 3, whatever it is, Surface 3 Pro with a tablet. Maybe I leave that over there, and I could just hotspot my phone to it, and then there's a computer over there too that runs off that thing. LSU plays Army Saturday. Nice. All right, we're out of here. Thanks for joining us. Really good show. I hope a lot of good discussion. Check out Josh today. He'll be 12 o'clock noon my time, so whatever time that is, 12 o'clock Central. Roll Tide.